CQ the X, CQ the X, CQ the X. This is Havana calling. CQ the X, CQ the X, CQ the X. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hola, amigos. It's really nice to have the opportunity of sharing with you about 10 minutes of all Radio Havana-related information. I'm your host, Arnaldo Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur 2KK. That's my ham radio call sign. Charlie Oscar 2 Kilo Kilo in phonetics. I am at the microphone here at RHC, and here is item 1 of this show for today. Several days in a row with at least one sunspot active region have had a positive effect on the levels of ionization, with the solar flux moving up to around 75 units. Good news. Nevertheless, we continue to go through the tail end of solar cycle 24, the weakest one since mankind began to use radio waves for communications at the end of the 19th century. Yes, this is the DXers Unlimited weekend edition coming to you from sunny Havana, Cuba, the capital city of this country. Now, item 2. The history of radio is simply fascinating. Every country in the world uses radio broadcasting facilities of some type to provide vital services to its population. Many of those sites are now part of the world's heritage. Some of those facilities involve extremely complex engineering, using a lot of electricity to power up transmitters and having to perform regular, expensive maintenance work, essential for the continuation of the services. In Europe, we find a very interesting story around the so-called Warsaw Poland radio mast, that when it went into operation on May 18th of 1974 for long-wave AM band transmission, as it was certified to be the tallest man-made construction ever built, way back 1974. The two 1,000 kilowatts, 1 megawatt Brown Bowery transmitters operated in parallel to feed the huge tower with 2,000 kilowatts of 100% modulated long-wave signals, at first on 227 kilohertz and at a later date on 225 kilohertz. The huge steel structure collapsed on August 8th of 1991 due to a mistake by the crew doing maintenance work, changing one of the guy wires on the highest part of the structure. This huge antenna was designed by Polish engineer Jan Polak. Its height was 2,120.7 feet, that is equivalent to 646.38 meters, 6 blocks high, and it was chosen in order to make the mast function as a half-wave vertical antenna radiating system, fed at the bottom, a design parameter that was widely criticized by engineers because of the radio frequency current distribution along the tall mast at the broadcasting frequency was not optimal. It was located in Gawin, Poland. It was the world's tallest structure until August 8th of 1991, as explained, when a mistake was made in exchanging the guy wire on the highest part of that. It led to its collapse. Witnesses said it began bending first, then snapped at roughly half the height. During the solar minimum years, the Polish long-wave super high-power 2 megawatt 225 kilohertz AM broadcast band signal on the long-wave band could be heard halfway around the world due to the prevalent very low atmospheric absorption typical of the solar minimum years. See, amigos, although the long-wave AM broadcast line facilities are closing down as a logical consequence of the expansion of FM and digital transmissions, plus the extremely high operating cost of the superpower vacuum tube transmitters at those stations, at least a few of them will probably remain on the air until the transmitting equipment lifetime comes to an end. But let me add that the AM medium wave band, the broadcast band, 530 to 1700 kilohertz, and the AM long wave transmitting frequencies using the solid-state technology will probably enjoy a lifetime well into the middle of this century. Solid-state technology is very reliable and costs less to operate. So, DXing, yes, DXing on the long wave and medium wave AM bands will provide many more years of enjoyment, especially after 2020, when solar cycle 24 comes to an end. See, amigos, the radio hub is fully enjoyed by people with poor eyesight or that are totally blind. And now the availability of screen characters to voice generators, they convert the screen characters to a voice signal, is making possible for blind persons to use the digital radio amateur communications modes like PSK31 PSK 63 and 125, MFSK, and the more recent JT65 and the more popular now FT8 modes. And amigos, on Thursday this week I received an airmail letter from radio amateur Charles Van Sant, call sign K9HIO, that's Kilo 9 Hotel India Oscar, that I would like to share with the DXers Unlimited listeners like you all around the world. Charles, who lives in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, says he has listened to Radio Havana Cuba broadcast for many years, finding our transmissions interesting to him. He adds that he is helping an audio reading service by radio run by the Cincinnati Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired Persons. The service is provided 24 hours a day on a sub-carrier of station WGUC FM 90.9 MHz FM that operates on 67 kHz. That's the sub-carrier frequency, 67 kHz. Charles added that the group provides users with receiving adapters that decode the sub-carrier and bring out the audio. He adds that they are always looking for interesting radio programs around the world and that he would like to start up broadcasting a program similar to the Unlimited. Well, that's something nice. Amigo Charles, I wish you good luck with that project to provide a radio hobby program as part of the services to blind persons. And you can count on us for any help or advice needed. We do have about 30 years experience of running this type of show, and so far it runs successfully. Here in Cuba there are many blind persons that are licensed radio amateur operators, having passed the Ministry of Communications very strict tests required to obtain a license to operate their own amateur radio stations. This is Radio Havana Cuba broadcasting also via satellite on Hispasat direct to the air, Hispasat 1D transponder 79 vertical polarization that has a nice footprint, making reception possible at many locations in the USA and Canada, as well as over most of the Caribbean region. We are also on the streaming audio service now from www.radiohc.cu. And now here is one item of DXers Unlimited, one item of one of the most popular sections. A visit to Arnie Coro's radio and electronics workshop. Yes, my workshop. See, amigos, with just a few hand tools, a soldering iron, and a digital multimeter, you can start to make your own electronics workshop where simple projects may be built, and also some repairs could be made to electrical appliances and electronic equipment. I'm not saying you can find and fix complex faults. No, don't mistake me. But you can certainly repair, for example, a desoldered radio plug that you can resolder back, or build a simple reverse polarity protection device that will prevent damages done to electronic equipment when an external power supply is connected with the polarity reverse, usually with disastrous results. See, amigos, yes, my friends, you can learn a lot about this wonderful hobby by reading tutorials devoted to teaching how to solder electronic equipment, how to follow a circuit diagram and all the parts, and last but not least, how to slowly go through the learning curve that will make possible to do more sophisticated home brewing of radios and accessories. Amazing as it may sound, 2-meter band FM handheld transceivers, handy talkies, are now available from many suppliers around the world at rock-bottom prices, and they're very reliable and efficient. Some of those gems are also capable of operating dual band on the 70 centimeters hand band. Connecting one of those FM transceivers, now sold in many countries for less than $75 or its equivalent, to an external antenna will make possible to communicate at much longer distances and establish links using the 2 meters and 70 centimeter band repeaters located all over the world. The availability of this new generation of low-cost handy talkies for the 2 meters and 70 centimeters band makes possible to enjoy amateur radio at a startup level without having to spend a lot of money. Phase 2 will be to learn how to build your first QRP transceiver kit and go on the air on one of the high-frequency shortwave amateur bands. Amigos, I invite you to listen next Tuesday and Wednesday UTC days, just after the half-hour news bulletin, to the middle of the week edition of DXers Unlimited, and please set aside a little time to send me a single report and comments about today's show. I do enjoy them, and they're very useful. Send mail to info.rhc@enet.cu and via airmail to Arnie Coro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
DXers Unlimited with Arnie Coro, heard every weekend here, also the midweek edition, right here on Radio Havana Cuba.